What's shaking, Aubrey? How's it going today?
I'm great. How are you, Lindsay?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. So what is something that you definitely have to get done today? Do you have a lot to do?
I do have a lot to do. My sister is in town, so I'm
Nice.
cramming all of my work into a chunk during the day so that I can
Uh-huh.
spend time with her and her kids.
Ah,
What about you? What's something
nice.
you definitely have to get done today?
Well, I have to get down and pick up my glasses. I have some new glasses that I
Oh,
ordered, and I got to get down there. I got to get away from my desk. It's been a
yeah.
busy few weeks, so I
You'll have to wear your
definitely
glasses
have to get
sometime while
that
you're
done.
recording so we can see them.
Yeah, you know what happens when you hit 40, your vision
Yeah.
starts to kind of everyone, it's universal pretty much.
That's true. I know, right?
Mhm.
And you're especially for reading, you need them mostly for reading.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct, yeah. So what are we getting into today? So in your answer, you said, "I definitely have to do this." Tell us about today's episode.
Yeah, we got a great question from a YouTube listener, Arnia Shagulu. It's probably an email address,
Mhm.
but this question was, can you please make a video about the difference between definitely and absolutely?
Yeah.
And I'm excited about this. We're actually going to do a three-part series because these two words are very related, but also there are other words that we use that are related. So we're going to talk about definitely and absolutely today. Sometimes they're interchangeable, sometimes they're not. You'll definitely want to tune in for all the details. And then we're
Mhm.
going to do a part 2 on business English, covering certainly and surely. So you want to make sure to follow not only here, All Ears English, but also business English so you don't miss part 2.
Yeah, guys, open up your search bar, search for Business English, hit follow so you don't miss that one when it comes out. Is that coming out maybe in a few weeks or something?
Yes, very
Yeah.
soon.
Mhm.
So follow so you don't miss it.
Maybe this week even. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see. Okay.
right.
And where's part 3 gonna be?
Yes, and we're doing part 3 on IELTS energy. We'll share idioms that mean the same as these, like without a shadow of a doubt and on the nose. There are a lot of idioms we use to convey the same meaning as these adverbs.
Love it. So, guys, again, open your search bar, search for IELTS Energy Podcast. You'll see the yellow again. Hit the follow button to get part 3. Nice. Okay. So, today on All Ears English, then, let's get into the ones that we're covering here. Definitely and absolutely. These are important, aren't they, Aubrey?
They are important. We use them all the time, and they're not directly interchangeable. There's very often, if you need to say definitely or absolutely, it wouldn't make sense to use the other one. So we're going to go
I see.
into all of the different meanings. We do use these in lots of different ways. Definitely
Yes.
has three meanings, three different ways that we use it.
Okay, I love it. So let's start with the first way. So the word definitely, what would be the first way, Aubrey, that we use it? What do we
Yeah, it
think?
means without doubt shows the level of certainty, right? It's like there's
Okay.
a scale of probability. This would be the highest positive point.
So for example, I'll definitely be there. Let's say your friend's having a party, they're your best friend, you want to support them. I'll definitely be there.
Yes, or these are definitely my favorite shoes, right? It just means like undoubtedly, without a doubt, we're much more likely to say definitely.
Okay. And then, I mean, very similar, right? We're under the same umbrella of meaning here. These are just sort of different uses, right, Aubrey? Sort of
Exactly.
slightly different uses. Tell us about the second one.
Yeah, the second one means closer to clearly or in a very definite manner. So for example, we can't make plans until we know the numbers more definitely.
Mm. Or until we hear from you more definitely, we won't decide anything. Interesting. That one I'm
Yeah.
not as used to using, but are you used to using it that way,
It's
Aubrey?
definitely a little less common. We don't
Yeah.
hear it quite as much, we don't use it quite as much. I was looking at the dictionary and I'm like, "Huh, there's all these separate meanings. Interesting." And like you said, they are related. This
Yeah.
is quite formal to say this way, right? We would
Yeah.
much more often use clearly for this meaning, but you will hear definitely used this way.
Okay. Love it. Love it. And then there's the third one that is emphatic and fun, which is just to answer with a positive yes, right? So, for example, hey, want to go on a road trip this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. And this, depending on how much you emphasize it, it changes a little bit your meaning, right? If I
Yeah.
say definitely or definitely, like there's a very different change in how much I want to go on a road trip.
Oh, I would now that we're getting into spring, I am definitely looking for a good road trip. I would like to go to Moab, to Utah, and explore Utah
Yes.
more. Just,
Oh,
I
if you
just,
go to Moab, Lindsay, don't miss Goblin Valley. It's really
okay.
near Moab, maybe like 45 minutes away. We took our kids. There are so many really cool rock formations that they call
Yeah,
goblins. They kind of
yeah.
look like these stacked stone. We had
Ah,
so much fun there.
Oh, I love it. That is like my favorite part of the entire country. It's just
Yeah.
so beautiful.
And we stayed in a yurt. We were able to, like, rent a
Out
yurt,
there in the
which
desert?
yes, out in the middle of the desert in Goblin Valley. If
Mhm.
you guys look those up, it's sort of a canvas tent. They were so cool. It was the best. If you come to the US, guys, find a yurt that you can stay in.
Well, then I will definitely add that to my summer plans. I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm so glad you said absolutely, Aubrey, because that was a good segue into our next part. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is a little different. It means like in an absolute or unconditional manner, but there are a few different sort of meanings here. The first one is like totally, with no
Yeah.
qualification or restriction. I might say, I trust you absolutely.
Yes, I like that. Or I absolutely trust you. Now, how do we know when to put it at the end? Like I trust you absolutely versus when to put it before trust. I
Yeah, this
absolutely trust you.
there's no meaning difference, right? These are interchangeable to say I trust you absolutely or I absolutely trust you, and it's always going to work either way. It can come right after the subject like this, or it can come after you've got the subject, verb, pronoun, and then you can say absolutely at the end always.
Yeah, I think it's saying the same thing. The only time I would think that it might be useful to differentiate would be if I say, "Oh, do you trust me?" "Oh, I absolutely trust you." Right?
That's a good point. You can
Um,
emphasize it more if it comes right after the subject, because it'd be strange to say, "I trust you absolutely." No, right? This
yeah.
if you're going to do that, you want to say, "I absolutely trust you," to hit it harder.
Okay, I like that. And then the next meaning, none whatsoever. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so you might say like, "I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about." It means like, "I
Mhm.
have no idea what at all whatsoever."
Nothing. Or, so you have absolutely no hesitation about taking the job? Right.
Exactly, and this
Yes.
means 0 hesitation, right? We'll also say
Mm,
that you have 0 hesitation about taking the job, which is
mhm.
interesting. For all these different meanings of absolutely and definitely, there are other ways to say it.
Interesting. And then a third way, still, to answer with an emphatic or positive yes. It's stronger than indefinitely, is it? Would you say?
Yeah, for sure. So with the same question, if I say,
Right.
"Wanna go on a road trip this weekend?"
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right?
it is like
Yeah.
you even if you don't emphasize it, if you just say like, "Absolutely," it's
Yeah.
still an emphatic yes if you say absolutely, right? You can say definitely, and it's not as emphatic. Absolutely, the word absolutely is always a stronger yes than definitely.
Yeah, it just feels like I'm not sure if it has more syllables, but it feels like it does. And so there's more we can do with our tone of voice. And so it feels more complete of an answer. It feels like a more extreme answer than definitely.
Yeah,
Feels
it's
right?
interesting, right? That's just
Mhm.
the way we use it, right? Absolutely just means a stronger yes, right? I think it's the same amount of syllables, but even
Yeah.
though we could hit definitely harder, and
Yeah.
you can be like definitely. But then if the other person says absolutely, oh, they want to go more. It's just more extreme.
Yeah, there's just I mean, that's fun ways to show you're excited about something and that you're on board, which people need to know. What's your
Yeah,
status? Are you on board with this or not? You don't
right.
have to always be over the top emphatic, but there are moments to do it and use it, and people will listen to you, right?
Yes. And this is actually a really good pro tip that if you definitely want to make sure that you are giving the message that you are on board, that it's a big yes, and you don't want to stress about if your intonation is showing that or not, go with absolutely. Because if you say like, definitely, that sounds more like maybe.
It's very
But if no
confusing
matter
because
how
you're
you emphasize absolutely, absolutely,
yeah.
no matter what, it sounds like a really strong yes.
And, sending mixed signals, like what the example you just used, Aubrey, is kind of like you're using a strong yes word, but using intonation that indicates hesitation, that's gonna that's gonna erode trust a little bit because
Right.
people are gonna say, "Can't quite figure it out what she
Not sure what
wants,"
you mean. Do you
right?
want to go? I don't know.
Yeah, and over time, that does erode trust. So just make sure that your tone of voice kind of matches what the words you're using, right?
Yes, listen back and, practice some mimicking here. When we
Mhm.
think about how does it sound to you if we say definitely or, definitely, whereas if we say definitely, we're hitting that first syllable, definitely. And then no matter how you emphasize absolutely, there's no way to ruin that one. There's no way to send
Yeah.
a mixed signal with
You really can't.
absolutely.
You're right, you're right. And I'd rather someone just say instead of definitely. With kind of an unsure tone of voice, I'd rather someone say, maybe, because
Yes,
that's
right?
really what you're
That's
saying
more
is
honest.
maybe. Be more honest, be more straightforward. Right. Love it. So, Aubrey, should we do a role play?
Yes, you and I are at a music festival in this role play. I'm actually going to a music festival this weekend, so it's
Yeah,
on my mind.
and you said Mumford and Sons is going to be playing. That's amazing.
Renee Rapp, Mumford and Sons, the bunch of bands that I'm really excited about. It's going to be really fun.
Oh, that's gonna be super fun. I went to a Madonna concert a couple weekends ago, and
How was
that
that?
was it
I
already
bet it was
feels like a year ago, but, it was cool. She's a good performer.
yes,
She's
I've heard
good.
amazing things about that show. I'd love to go sometime.
Yeah, good stuff.
So,
And
all
she's
right,
done
I'll
some
start us out.
amazing things, yeah. Okay, let's get into it. Here we go.
Okay. Did you like the Tom Petty cover band?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's amazing how much they sounded like them.
I don't know who's playing next. I wish I knew the lineup more definitely.
I'm glad we came. I usually have absolutely no desire to go to concerts, but this one has been really fun.
Do you want to stay for Rilo Kiley? She isn't on until 9 p.m.
Absolutely. And
Nice.
it's true what you said before, Aubrey. With the word absolutely, you can't physically you can't give those mixed signals.
No.
It's really hard to use
Yeah.
that awkward, unsure tone of voice with such
Mhm.
a full word that fills up your mouth so completely.
It's true, and if you did say it with, like, a question mark at the end, "Absolutely," that would just be strange. So even if you don't really even just say, "Absolutely," it still
Yeah.
means, like, I'm a huge yes.
So if you want to make sure maybe you like tend to speak more quietly, more softly, and you want to make sure people know you're 100% on board, choose absolutely instead of
Yes,
definitely, right?
for sure. Alright, let's go through this. The first one you used was, "Yeah, definitely," which is that first meaning, right?
Yeah.
You're agreeing here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then you said, I don't know who's playing next. I wish I knew the lineup more definitely. And this is the one that we feel is used less
A little less
commonly, right
often,
up,
right? It
Aubrey?
means, like, in a
Mhm.
definite way, clearly, and so this doesn't sound strange to me to say this. I know what it means. You're going to
Mhm.
hear it on podcasts, but it is a little less common. The other way of using definitely, just to agree, is much more common.
Yeah. And then I said, "Oh, I'm glad we came. I usually have absolutely no desire to go to concerts, but this one has been really fun."
And that's
Right?
that second meaning of none whatsoever. I usually have
None what's
absolutely no desire.
Another way of expressing your lifestyle, your personality, your values,
Yes,
right?
right, for sure. And then the last one, that third meaning of absolutely, just the emphatic yes. When I asked if you wanted to stay, even though it was going to be late, and you said absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd rather go on a Western road trip, but I would stay at the concert
Yeah, right.
for sure. All right, good stuff. Where should we leave our listeners today? Because I know you have to hop on for our open conversation club, Aubrey, coming up with our students in our courses. Fun.
Yes, that's happening in just a few minutes. I can't wait. So, yeah, we definitely want to let you guys know you want to use these adverbs. They add so much interest and emphasis to your speech. But yeah, it's important to think about like, am I sending mixed signals? Your intonation here really does matter as much as the word you choose.
Interesting. Okay, I like this topic. Guys, hit follow on the podcast, and thanks for being on the mic today, Aubrey. Good stuff. I enjoyed recording with you today.
Yes, so fun. And be sure to follow our other podcasts so you don't miss part 2 and part 3 of this series. It's going to be super fun.
100%. Take care.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.